Baccarat action.
The latest collaboration between George Clooney and Steven Soderbergh is once again something to cheer about.
Excellent.
Look great. Perfect.
Clooney stars in The Good German.
And action.
It's a movie that shows they can still make them like they used to, in beautiful black and white. Even the trailer for the film seems very 1940s.
The war is over. A military journalist sent to cover the peace is about to become part of the story. If war is hell, what comes after?
We had a great script, and then there's that awful moment when Steven and I have to sit down with the Warner Brothers guys and say, oh, and it's going to be black and white film noir. So that was a bad day for them, I suppose.
An American serviceman turns up dead on the eve of the peace conference. The Russians want us to go away. We want it to go away too.
Whoever wanted him dead had access to the delegations. That means somebody pretty high up.
What's your angle?
Why do I have to have an angle?
The angle for this film, make it a blast from the past in every single cinematic way.
Where'd you get those bruises on your face? Wasn't over a girl, was it?
From the very beginning, the script itself informed how the film had to be shot, and there's just nobody better to take risks in film with than Steven Soderbergh.
Steven and George decided to shoot this film with 1940s dialogue and 1940s equipment, like boom mics and old-fashioned black and white cameras.
Nice little game of cat and mouse you got going on, while everybody smokes the peace pipe.
And Soderbergh insisted that the actors act like 1940s actors, when bigger was considered better.
What happens is we're in London with $10,000. You're out, I'm out, it's a perfect plan.
I won't go to the Russians, no, I won't.
He just wants to see you. What's the big deal? He just wants to know I really have him.
But you don't have him.
Yeah, I think it's the performance style, because all of the elements of the film, the lighting, the design, the music, was so heightened to be more of akin to a 1940s style. The acting style had to come up as well.
Hey, Fish, I had to hitch a ride home from the conference. What happened?
Blow.
I hate to pull rank on you, but you are my driver.
I'm off the clock, sir.
So it felt quite outward and often quite melodramatic. And so there was a scene where he was trying to get information out of Lena, and it was this big clinch. And it was literally, when the take finished, we'd go, ooh, and move apart. And Steven said, that's it. He said, that's it. It just doesn't feel natural.
Yeah.
And when you see it, because of the other elements, it just feels like it's part of that texture, but to perform it felt very odd.
It fits when you see it.
Lena?
I'm off the clock too.
All of the acting dilemmas that you have, which is sort of not internalizing it and sort of keeping it very sort of 1945, you're willing to do and take a chance on with Steven. I don't know that I do that with a first-time director.
What's going on?
Why didn't you tell me Emil was with the rocket program?
I didn't think it mattered.
He worked directly under Franz Bettman, and you didn't think it mattered?
Who told you about Beckman?
Mueller.
When you talk about 1940s camera, lighting, 1940s pay.
Less than that, a buck. I got a buck again. I got to start doing jobs, because they're gonna kick me out of my rent control.
In Italy, the rent control in Italy.
Yeah, the Euro control.
Why did you talk to Mueller?
He has Bettman holed up in a safe house on his way to America to make rockets. That's why they're looking for Emil. They're all going, including the wives. Why didn't you tell me, Lena?
You know what Bettman did.
Everybody knows who he is. He was famous before the war. Now you can either tell me, or you can tell Bernie. He'll be here in 2 minutes.
No.
If truth be told, Clooney earned a little more than $1, but it was never about the money.
Somebody got up on the wrong side of the bed.
Thanks, Tully.
Don't want you to miss out on all the great things Berlin has to offer while you're here.
I used to live here before the war. Actually, because you're in a union, you get SAG minimum, so it's a couple grand. But you say, okay, I'll do it for $1, and that's, listen, the truth of the matter is, there's nobody that's really encouraging us to make films like this, or Good Night, Good Luck, or Syriana. Solaris for that matter. And so our job is to say, okay, well, we'll be investors along with the studio, and that seems fair. If they're going to have to stick up $30 million to make a film that's hard to make and hard to market and hard to sell, then we should be investors as well in it if we're the ones who are trying to force it to be made.
Champagne from the cellar of Admiral Dönitz. Care for some?
Wouldn't want to go to waste.
Size of the boat.
George Clooney has a lot to toast about this year. Of course, the last time he and Soderbergh worked for Little, Clooney won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for Syriana.
Callisto! Shut up!
Yeah, which one do you want to talk about first? This one or the Genius issue? You're on both here.
It's tough to call, really. It's such a balance between the two.
Get in!
And to top the year off, George beat out every other man alive, getting named Sexiest Man Alive by People magazine for the second time. Seems everyone was happy for him except former Sexiest Man Alive and good friend Brad Pitt.
He took out full-page ads in the trades with a bad picture of me from 1985. I texted him a message and just said, you won't know where, you won't know when. Sleep well, little friends, sleep well. So it's already a little battle.
If I can find you, so can they. What is it you're not telling me?
Clooney will most likely win that battle off screen. On screen, he continues to win the war of making movies that matter.
You can never really get out of Berlin.
You've seen what one bomb can do to a city. That's the future. Future of mankind's in our hands.
She's playing you, Jake. I have no idea what you're dealing with.
Who got to you? I want to know.
You find that girl. We'd like to talk to her.
Get out now. Go before you get hurt.
Let's not forget that we are fighting for peace and for the welfare of mankind.